Hi, welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/TechnologyReviewTV or twitter.com/Mac Jackson Jr., Facebook, Twitter, and of course LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/Mac Jackson Jr. Lots of information you'll find on our show here, Technology Review, and my speaking, branding, and media tour stuff. All right. Today I want to, again, I'm so excited to have my co-host with me here
I know
again
you're a little tongue-tied.
Yeah, it's a little tongue-tied today. Yes, Sonia Pedowick, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome back, yes.
It's been
Honestly,
a while.
folks, she makes my month when she comes up on my
I
show.
know.
She does. It's really
I was
good.
traveling a bit, so I missed the first couple of weeks, but I'm back.
I'm
So.
glad you're back. That's
Yes.
really, really good. So before we get started, real quickly, tell our audience again about your company, and then we'll get started on all the good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm the founder of Torian Consulting. We're an IT staffing and recruiting and professional services company. We find people jobs on a contract to hire basis, as well as direct hire perm here, primarily in the Las Vegas market. So if you're looking for work in IT, cybersecurity, project management, we're so busy right now with opportunities here. So hit us up at Sonia, Sonia, at Torian Consulting. That's TAUREAN consulting.net.
Excellent. Great company. She's a great person to talk to.
Thank you. Where should we start?
Man, so much stuff is going on in cybersecurity news.
Yes.
Wow, so much stuff is going on. So let's start with our favorite subject, Russian hacking.
I know.
Russian hacking. Yes, wow. This is definitely blowing up. Did you hear that today on the news that
No.
the U.S. Press Secretary, Sean Spicer,
Yeah.
quit?
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he quit. He resigned.
Oh,
I got
poor
enough of
little-
this. Boom, he resigned.
Poor little guy.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live is making too many jokes about him. so
Yes.
it's-
Well, I mean, the pressure must
Yes.
be huge, right? Anytime you have a company spokesperson, and there's a lot of them out there like trying
Right.
to spin whatever it is, and regardless of political affiliation, there's always a spin,
Always
right?
a spin. Yep, that's very
But
true.
I'm sure it just got to him because
Yeah.
it's so hard. You know, people want to keep this in the news,
Mhm.
and rightfully so in some respect, right? And just having to tackle that, and then with Melissa McCarthy basically beating you up every
Yes.
weekend, I'm sure it's
That's true. She did a
yes.
good job at that.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
And the other thing, I'm not sure if this is a rumor or it's actually true news that the president's actually doing a study with his legal team to see if he has pardon authorization
Yeah.
to pardon himself, his family, his staff. That was
That's
the question
awesome.
he asked
Yeah.
to his group,
That's
and then
awesome.
people are like, "Well, what?"
Oh my goodness.
So this is going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen. Why you want to ask for a pardon, especially pardon yourself? And I was listening to other legal people about this, and they were saying that if you accept the pardon, then you are basically accepting that a crime was committed.
Sure.
So it's really interesting to see what's going to happen.
Well, it's
gonna
sort
be
of like
intense.
Googling like how to get away with murder before you do the murder.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
How can I kill my husband without anybody knowing? You know,
Right.
and it's sort of,
Yes.
I don't know. It's
yes.
interesting, but I think for the most part, like I want to know what really happened.
Yes, exactly.
right?
We want to know what really happened. It's all we want to know, good or bad.
Yes.
Find out what really happened and who's ever done it. No matter what side they're on, Democrat, Republican, they need to keep our country and our Constitution intact.
Yeah, and I
Not fight against it.
exactly. And I think if anything, like the big lesson, I think I've been thinking about this a lot because it's like there's so much hoopla and nonsense, right? And the nuance of what's right, what's real news, what's not real news. But
Right.
I think it's an opportunity for people to look at, should I trust everything I read?
Right.
Where am I losing my own opinion, my own conviction, what I believe in because I want to join the masses? And
Right.
and it shows how powerful the internet is because
it really is.
whether they did or didn't affect the election, whatever was happening was swaying opinion.
Yes,
And you
it's
can
swaying opinion.
track it through what we chose to highlight, how Fox spun it, how CNN spun it, how these different people talk about it, even to some articles where you could track down to how the original story came out
Right.
and how it evolved into,
Yes. It's a telephone game.
Yes.
Right? Tell one story and 10 people tell it. It's totally different at the other end of it. But
Right.
Absolutely.
And so there's some self-awareness and some self-education, especially if you're raising children. Like, be very aware of what you're reading and be smart enough to check the facts and make your
Cite.
own
Always
opinion.
cite. I always tell my students, at the university, to make sure that they cite more than
Yes.
one
Yes.
source.
Yes.
Give us a couple of sources because you
Yeah.
can you can get totally mesmerized in this world of
Yeah.
information.
Right.
The other one was I understand the Justice Department just shut down a couple of websites in the darknet.
Yes.
Yeah, they went into a darknet.
I can't think of the name of that one, but the really high traffic for
Yeah,
drugs.
one was like Fuzzy Bear too was one that
Yes.
had connection to Russian
Drugs and
connection.
sex trafficking.
Drugs, sex trafficking,
Child
porn, child
pornography.
pornography, and of course identity theft and fraud,
Yes.
guys. I was telling you guys before, that's where it's done.
Yes.
These guys take your information,
Yep.
take it to the underground, and they sell your information like it's baseball trading cards,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
To other people who want to buy your identity. So, but again, the feds went in there and shut down 2 sites, but what does that mean?
Yeah.
It's data, it's information. So you shut down one server. These bad guys aren't stupid. They have a backup somewhere else, so
Right.
it'll pop up somewhere else on the internet. You know?
It's just
At my show yesterday, my lunch, you learned someone asked, "Well, why can't we just trace the phone numbers, the 800 numbers,
Right.
and try to stop people that way?"
Right.
Well, that's hard to do too because
Right.
the phones are not like they were in the past.
No.
You don't have a landline anymore. You have a SIP line,
Yeah.
we call it, right? It's an internet phone. It doesn't
Yeah.
have the same type of hardware
Right,
set
right.
up, right?
Right.
So you can't, tap a line. If you tap it, try to follow where it's going. The hackers have a way to divert that
Yeah.
signal somewhere else
yeah.
to Granny's house. So now we've got the feds knocking at their door trying to stop her from making a illicit
Right.
phone call. So.
And there's an uptick in all these calls now with like the fraud IRS collections.
Yes, that's the other
There's-
one. There's real IRS collections and they're fraud with it.
Right.
Exactly.
And we don't use our house phone. We have a line probably so we have internet at home, but
Right.
we don't use our house phone. But yesterday, was it last night or the night before? We had 12 messages. I hadn't listened to it since Saturday,
Mhm.
and every message was an IRS scam call. Everyone,
Wow.
12 in a row, boom, boom, boom.
Wow,
You know,
IRS scams.
we're going to send the police to your house. You're owed this money. You must call us right away, and
Yes.
it's just consistent.
It's terrible. But my mom got a phone call, not from the IRS, but she got that phone call from the Microsoft
oh
support.
yes, I
My
know a
mom
few
calls me
people.
and she's telling me, this guy calling Microsoft support, and I told him, you need to talk to my son.
Yeah, yeah. I know a few people have fallen for that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because they think it's Microsoft.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
Microsoft won't be calling you.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting too is how they can mask the URL
Yes.
with the word Microsoft
Yes.
in it, and that's what gets people,
Yes.
concerned if they say, "Oh, it must be Microsoft because their name's in the URL address."
Well, that's some of the stuff that you do when you come out and talk to businesses, right? Is I do get a lot of those through. I get Microsoft. I get different things that I subscribe to. I don't want to put them out there in case someone wants to start targeting me, but it's something I do business with, and usually it's the front part of it. So it'll be like Microsoft at, and then it's some random .com, right? And I think people are so quick to say not look at who the email is from because they display it as Microsoft.
Right.
And so don't click on those links. It's like I'm so good about just like delete it, or I look at who the sender is to see, is that a legit email? Is it really coming from Microsoft, or is it coming from Microsoft at some crazy name at
Yes.
.eu or
Right.
whatever in
Yeah.
UK, and nope, I don't
And
want to
that's all.
touch it.
Yep. All you need is a mask it, and it totally changes it. And it's so terrible because we can't do business anymore. you
Yeah.
know? I talked to some realtors today, and they were saying it's hard for them to even look at documents coming back and forth
Yes.
between the title companies.
Yeah.
Because they think it's legitimate. They'll click on it, and
Yeah.
it's totally
DocuSign
wrong.
is a big one that's like
Yeah,
going around.
They even got hacked.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And they're sending out all these phishing emails saying you've got documents to sign. So if
Right.
you're in the process expecting it,
True.
we no longer use them as a business anymore. But
Mhm.
I have used it, and if it was something I was consistently waiting for my admin to send me or a client to send me, I probably would just go review document, and then I've opened myself out. So I always look and what am I expecting?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what we will be coming up with a way though to fight that. So there's some things that
Yes.
the cybersecurity researchers are working on to avoid that
Yeah.
happening. So definitely.
So if you're out there looking for career choices,
There you go. Exactly.
IT and
That's right.
cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity is
Yes.
definitely the way to be.
yeah.
Yeah. So again, folks, we had a great time here talking. We always do to talk with Sonia, where she's going to be back in our second segment as well.
Nice.
We're going to talk about something really interesting, guys. About we'll keep it a
Yes.
surprise.
We'll keep you waiting for more.
Yes, definitely. It's about dating service. So, anyways, a little hit. Yeah, absolutely. But if you'd like to get a hold of me and find out more about my company, again, it's Technology Review, Mac Jackson Jr., MJ Computer Concepts. You can find me on Facebook or send me an email at info@macjacksonjr.com, macjacksonjr.com. We'll be right back here at Technology Review after these local and national messages. Thank you.